Murillo, thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with us here at Global Influence Magazine. We're so excited to have you today, so thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. And it's an honor and privilege and great to see you.
You too. So I'd love to begin this conversation. As you know, the fourth quarter magazine is going to be about championing the success of women in the workplace. And what better person can we talk to than the head of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce? So we're so excited.
Thank you. Well, I accept on behalf of our board and our staff. We're a small team at the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, but as is evident by our call today, I don't do anything by myself. I try to surround myself with great people who have the vision to do important work. And I feel it's an honor and a privilege for the daughter of immigrant parents, the youngest of 9, to have this opportunity to lead this chamber and to have met international heads of state and just the many global experiences that I've had the opportunity to engage with, and others to represent women and to represent someone who loves this city, the great city of Houston.
Thank you again so much for all the work you do on behalf of all of the businesses that you represent.
Absolutely.
So on that note, let's get started. Please, for those that may not be familiar with the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, please provide us with a quick overview of the history and the significance of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, not only here in Houston, and I think statewide and nationally.
Yes, well, we represent over 100,000 Hispanic-owned businesses, corporations in this great region, and we support small business and we advocate for the interest of business in our region, and we advocate not only locally at the state level, nationally, and internationally on anything that we find that could be of support in the economy, a strong economy, jobs, business. And I've had the privilege of serving for approximately 15 years. Our chamber's been around over 40 years, and I've been at the helm for the last 15. A very diverse board of directors. At any given point, we've had up to 40% of our board of directors who are not Hispanic. And I think that's something that would be a surprise to many who are not familiar with our chamber or how chambers of commerce operate. We run like a business. Even though we are a nonprofit, we count on the support of corporate sponsorships, and we turn that around to provide resources and services for our community, for nonprofits, for young emerging leaders through our foundation, through Business Institute, through women's conferences, to the largest business luncheon and expo in this city with over 1,600 attendees, and our gala, all proceeds going back into running this chamber, providing programs and services. I am the executive host and producer on television programs on CBS KHOU 11, Univision, The Cube, Quest Texas, and are on 6 radio stations on CBS with an audience reach of over 3 million. And again, a privilege having come from parents who came from Mexico to this country with very little education, someone who grew up in the East End and Houston's barrio, a graduate of Austin High School and a 3-time University of Houston graduate. It's an honor, it's a privilege to represent this community, the business community across the globe.
Wow. And so when do you sleep? You don't need sleep, right?
You know what? I feel so passionate about the things that I am able to do, the people that I'm able to meet, and that it requires persistence to get so many things done. So I'm one of those fortunate people that really, really loves what they do. And I know that a phone call from us, a letter from us, an email from us can open doors. One quick example, just yesterday, one of our emerging leaders that I met several years ago was working at a bank and was in our program and just didn't seem happy. And I talked to him and discovered that he hated his job. He wanted to work with people. He wanted to work with students. Fast forward, we've maintained a relationship. We helped him get a job at HISD. He's moved on to other educational endeavors and completed his doctorate from the University of Houston. And so those are the kinds of things that I am so fortunate to be a part of, to witness, and however I can help open doors.
That is a fantastic story, and how you and your organization can support those in the community. It's phenomenal. So thank you for that example. So that example specifically about a young man, I assume. And so how do you support business women, and what programs are there in your organization specifically for women?
Well, one of the things that we've done is our women's conference, which we started out with about 100 attendees, and it's become now our third largest event that we've hosted. And if you want to know about makeup and fashion, this is not for you. This is about retirement. This is about corporate boards. This is about understanding your finances. This is about giving you motivation and confidence to achieve your goals. And so we have really invested in a high caliber program that is motivational, educational, and it talks and speaks to women across the board. It doesn't matter if you're entering the workforce or you're transitioning into a new career. That's one of the things. And of course, our Business Institute, just this year, we had about 25 participants and 90% were women. We know that women are starting businesses at a much faster rate than any other group. Latina women in particular, the fastest growing segment of Hispanic or business owners are Latina women. And we also make sure that we have them on our radio, TV programs to encourage them, to provide them with insight and information, to make sure that other women see people doing things that, let's say, they aspire to do. And also remembering that as a woman, often we are the primary caretakers for our families. We are the ones raising the children, taking them to the doctor, all of the many things that as a woman is something that we see as part of our everyday lives. You know, our executive assistant, Jennifer, who has done a great job at the chamber, is the mother of 4 children. And during the pandemic, you know, I can't imagine what it is to be a parent with, 4 boys at school and a newborn baby, and the enormous job of serving as an executive assistant to yours truly, who has a very hectic schedule. And so those are the champions that we salute. Those are the women that we lift up every day to say, good job, keep it up, and let's continue to motivate everyone, women especially. I think our burden is a little heavier. I'm biased, I'm a woman, I can say it. But I think that if we see other women who are successful, it gives us that hope and that drive to every day wake up with that passion, with persistence, and to surround ourselves with people who help us get there.
Yes. Thank you so much. Such great insight. And with that being said, share with me one of your favorite stories of, how the chamber supported or motivated a woman in business.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
That's okay. I said, please share one of your favorite stories of how the chamber supported or motivated a woman in business, or a business that was led by a businesswoman.
Yes, well, we have so many phenomenal stories. I'll give you one, and it goes back to a word I mentioned earlier. It's the confidence. And so we had a great entrepreneur. She was doing phenomenal work, and I introduced her to a corporate sponsor that was initiating a new program. And she said, "Oh, Laura, no, I'm not ready for that." And again, she was limiting herself because she just didn't have that confidence to know that she had something to offer to this corporation. Fast forward, she, I absolutely took her literally by the hand over to the CEO of the group. And I said, this will be your next poster child. This woman is doing phenomenal work. And sure enough, she did everything she needed to do with them and the program they initiated, and continued to build on that success and increased her confidence and became a much better at public speaking, and didn't try to be someone she wasn't, but embraced the fact of who she was and how it made her special and different. And so those are some of the many, many stories of the success of women and how important it is that we take time to open doors for others, because their success is our success. And I also want to point out that as we think of powerful women and power, that it's not a limited supply. I think for people who are in power and influence, the true leaders are those who understand the importance and the value of empowering others. that you're not giving away power, but in fact, you are sharing it. And that, in fact, at the end of the day, makes you more influential. So I'm especially proud of having established our Emerging Leaders Institute, specifically designed to cultivate, develop, and help young professionals get to that next level. And that we had a board of directors that believed in that vision and believed in me, even though all we had was a Sharpie and a couple of white sheets of paper and no money. But we were able to do it. And fast forward, we have approximately 300 young professionals, Hispanic, African American, Asian, you name it, who have graduated from that program. And for me, and I believe for our board and the chamber, that is a legacy that will absolutely be a game changer for our region. And those will be the leaders of today and tomorrow.
Well, that is absolutely phenomenal. So congratulations on the success of that program and the leadership that you're providing to further drive, those opportunities for leaders. And that's, wow, that's amazing. So, clearly you're passionate about this work. And so what would you say, and, you mentioned that, you're a daughter of immigrants, and it was these opportunities have opened up for you that you've taken on. But who within that time frame would you say has been a motivator for you? Who has driven or supported you along the way?
Well, thank you for the question. There are so many people that I credit for who I am and what I'm able to do. And it begins with my parents, who came to this country with only second grade educations, did not speak English, did not have any money. But my father, who was a very hardworking individual, understood the value of hard work. And I was fortunate to work with him from the time I was 10 until I graduated from college at 21 at the family's Mexican restaurant. And I learned so much about my culture and hard work. My mother, I learned from her compassion, and she raised 9 children and dedicated her life to her children so we could have better lives. So certainly that was the foundation. But I also remember seeing individuals on television speaking on behalf of women on our community. And there was something that I noticed about those people. 2 letters, DR. 3 out of 4 of those individuals had doctorate degrees, and it gave me a reason to spend 3 years of my life working full time with a child, pregnant with a second one, and to do that while my mother suffered from a massive heart attack during my last semester. And to be able to graduate and have my mother see her youngest cross that stage certainly has been something that has helped me believe and understand that everything can be done through prayer, through support, and also understanding that you can't do everything at once. You have to just plan, and there's a season for things and there's a season for opportunities. But hard work will get you very far. So my thanks to my parents and to individuals such as Dr. Murillo of University of Houston, Dr. Dorothy Caram, who remains as what she likes to say, my second mother, who was a Latina who came to my high school when I was 15 years old. And Dr. Caram came in with her hair slicked back and just dressed head to toe and spoke Spanish and had a doctorate degree and worked at the University of Houston and had children. And if you look at my career trajectory, it very much mirrors that of Dr. Caram. I spent 15 years at U of H and was an educator. We come from the same neighborhood. And so it's been people like that. Of course, the great Olga Solis, a champion in civil rights here in our city. Johnny Mata, and so many others who gave me my first break in a variety of volunteer capacities when I was just a youngster, just trying to find my way and trying to make a difference. Their examples and their shoulders I stand on today, and I hope to return that sense of community through the work I do at the Chamber in my own personal time and through our foundation.
That's great. Those are some big shoulders you've been standing on. So that's fantastic. So any last minute thoughts, about the importance of championing the success of women as we close this interview?
Well, I'd like to say that to women, to parents, the importance of instilling confidence in your children, especially girls and young ladies, to let them know that they are important, for them to know their worth, and that we can absolutely be a leader, and that in fact leading is something that is very natural to us. I also think it's important to know that there are times when we can follow, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes being a leader means that you follow, and you can't lead if no one follows you. And so all of those things are critically important. I would, again, just remind everyone that women play such a vital role, and anything that you can do to uplift a woman regularly, daily, frequently is really important, because as women, I think we are challenged in many ways that men are not challenged. But at the same time, we appreciate that we are different, and at the same time, we can lead. And so my thanks to you for highlighting women and the role that we play to make the globe a better place.